And I'm coming to talk about Trump's troops versus Newsom's chaos. You may very well want to get your pen and paper, because this tonight will be your favorite dose of unfiltered, unapologetic truth, because this is Toto Tonight, the conservative college. So, who's really a threat, Newsom or Trump? First of all, I want to get this straight. I just want to make sure that I'm understanding it correctly. We have riots that have erupted in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and I believe now in Texas. They don't want to take that to Texas, by the way. Federal agents are physically attacked. Cars are torched. It was so funny to me on CNN last night. I was watching some of the liars there, and they were saying in the microphone how these were peaceful protests, and the poor reporter didn't realize there was a car burning right behind him, but I digress. Cars are being torched. Mexicano flags are waving on U.S. soil like it's Tijuana's Independence Day parade. Oh, yes, that's what it looks like. The cars riding around, waving Mexico's flag on U.S. soil. There was a day, them was fighting words. Our soldiers died raising a flag because flags mean something. So here we are. I'm telling you, it looks like the Tijuana Independence Day parade in Los Angeles. And President Trump, who is using his constitutional authority to deploy the National Guard, he is the problem, the threat. That is what you are being fed to believe. That's what Gavin Newsom and all the other left-wing lunatics want you to believe. They are literally on a screen. I've never seen anything like it. It insults my intelligence. They're literally on a screen telling me, look over here, not back there. Oh, yes, they just shot fireworks at ICE agents, but look over here. I'm telling you, this is a peaceful protest. What was that? The ground shook, but I'm telling you, it's a peaceful protest. According to their script, an ICE raid equals terrorism, but illegal mobs equals peaceful protesters. The National Guard equals fascism. But flag burning anarchists waving foreign flags, that's just community expression. Give me a break in this land of Oz that I find myself in. Let me break this down for you constitutionally, and especially for those that are constitutionally challenged. Let this be the moment when you find freedom from your ignorance. Allow me to be your deliverer from dodo brainness. Okay? I'm fixing to tell you the truth. Nothing but the truth. You cannot change this truth. Okay? 10 U.S. Code 12406. Write it down. Google it. 10 U.S. Code 12406 allows the president to federalize the National Guard when the laws of the United States are being obstructed. Go read it for yourself. The Insurrection Act of 1807 gives him the power to suppress rebellion. But that's not what that is. Y'all understand? No. That's not what you're seeing on your screen. It's not rebellion. Pity you for thinking such a thing. It's expression. Article 2, Section 2. The president is the commander-in-chief, period. This is not new. This is not radical. It's not even controversial. Eisenhower did it, 1957. Johnson did it, 1965. Bush did it, 1992. So what's different now? One word. One word. Trump. That changes everything. Trump derangement syndrome. Because unlike past presidents that tiptoed through the political minefield, President Trump is not interested in playing nice. He's not trying to get invited to the elite's dinner. He don't need to come to your dinner and your soiree, your parties to score brownie points with the NPR. He's on a mission. Didn't you get the memo, world? Trump is on a mission. What you're looking at is Trump 2.0, Trump unleashed. This is what it looks like. That mission is to restore this republic, not to manage its decline, but to restore the rule of law and order. The left understands something that many on the right are just now waking up to. Trump does not just threaten their policy agenda, he is threatening their entire machine, the whole kit and caboodle. They don't care if you go after their agenda, but don't destroy the machine that makes their agenda come to life. What is that machine? The illegal voter base. The machine is the illegal voter base. The bloated census figures. The foreign-funded chaos networks. The Soros DAs. The sanctuary sheriffs. The anarchist, all of it is the machine that produces the agenda. With Trump in office and Trump unleashed and fully activated, their chessboard is flipped. They are losing their minds. That's why they cry fascism. Not because of what Trump has done, but because of what they fear he might do. Dismantle the infrastructure of their lawless, illegal empire. This is not about their concern for democracy. This is panic over losing control. Listen to me. Follow the money. If you want to know why they're losing their minds, allow me, your humble professor, to explain it to you. One of the peaceful protest organizers is known as Chirla, if you're taking notes. Chirla. Reportedly, Chirla, I'm sorry for chewing while I'm talking, and I'm trying to, I told you I couldn't talk all day, and I'm feeling that my chest tighten up, so I may have to slow down just a little. Surely you'll bear with me. Chirla received $34 million from the state of California, taxpayer money. No, they didn't receive that money to educate your children or to fix your roads. That went to organizing riots, shielding illegals, and undermining ICE. And California paid them. Go do your own research. Churla, $34 million. Follow the money. Why? Because illegal populations mean power. And they love the power of illegal populations. Number one, it boosts the census count. It drives up welfare distribution. It adds congressional seats. Do you see? They shift the electoral college math. If you was to remove the illegals in California, California would shrink like a raisin in the desert. And the Democrats, they know it. They need illegal immigration. It is their political oxygen. This is not a protest in Los Angeles. It's warfare. I want you to truly understand this is not protest. This is planned, staged, coordinated insurrection. Rioters in LA flooded the 101 freeway, and bricks magically appeared in the middle of the freeway. Fireworks, Molotovs, projectiles, targeted ICE agents just fairy dusted their way into that set place, because this is what they do while they burn our flag. They raise Mexican flags, Hamas flags, and they consider that conquest. When you see them raising those flags, they're not doing it to have a pretty show. They are declaring to California, we are conquering this land in California. This is conquest. You've got to see the truth behind what's happening. California is being conquered by these illegal aliens. Now, if you want to see the fingerprints on the movement, look at this man in particular, a man you don't know. He stayed well hidden for a long time. His name is Neville Roy Singham. I've been following this man for a while. He is a Maoist. Go study that religion, if you will. This is the man that is bankrolling everything you see on your screen. Let me tell you about Roy Singham and Code Pink. This is the man behind the curtain. The protesters is not, no, this is the man. Neville Roy Singham, U.S. born, technology mogul, turned into a Marxist financier. He made millions in the United States and then sold out to China. What is his ideology? Maoist communism. What is his mission? Dismantle America. Let me tell you the groups that this man finances personally. The PSL, the Party for Socialism and Liberation. He also finances Code Pink. Who is Code Pink? A radical anti-war group that has evolved into a tool for Marxist and anti-American campaigns. They organize protest that blurs the line between activism and insurrection. Another group that he finances is Answer Coalition. He also finances pro-Hamas media operations and protest networks. Now, the fine-looking lady in the picture is his wife, radical activist Jody Evans. And together, they're orchestrating a domestic revolution. one riot at a time. This same network has ties to the Columbia campus violence we just saw, the attacks on the Israeli diplomats, and now the ICE riots in Los Angeles. Code Pink, let's focus on them for a moment, in particular, has openly praised China's government. Jody Evans, the lady on your screen, declared these words in a recent interview. China has lifted more people out of poverty than any country in history. It's a model of compassion, unlike the greed of America. She and her husband arms Chinese Communist Party talking points, according to the New York Times investigation. Singham's nonprofits funneled millions to pro-China outlets that praise President Xi, denounce the U.S., and justify CCP aggression. These are not just disconnected threads. This is a coordinated ideological invasion. Donald Trump knows it. This is the kind that our founders feared when they warned about foreign entanglements and subversive ideologies infiltrating from within. Code Pink, for example, organized delegations to China and praised their handling of COVID as a model of efficiency. In 2023, Jody Evans said these words: "We need to learn from how China builds community and mutual care, not rugged American individualism." I taught you 4 years ago what they hate about us. It is individualism. Americans have a rugged individualism given to them by God Himself, and the world hates that individual freedom. This is not a grassroots protest. This is well-funded, foreign-backed, anti-American insurgency. When they raise those flags, they mean what they're waving. Now, here's the challenge for President Trump. We are true conservatives, and I've always taught you we are a republic. For those of you on the right that are screaming for President Trump to do something, why hasn't the president done something? Why isn't he sending more? Listen to me. We cannot be hypocrites. We either believe in state sovereignty or we don't. I do. I love state sovereignty that is free from federal control. We cannot allow the emotions of a moment to override the principles and the mandate of our founding fathers. What I'm referring to is called federalism. It limits the federal power. It restrains the president through what's known as the posse comitatus. It's an act of Congress, posse, P-O-S-S-E, comitatus, C-O-M-I-T-A-T-U-S, which forbids the federal military from civilian affairs. So, if we're going to be Republicans, if we're going to be conservatives, we have to be them during the good times and the bad. So with that understanding, I want you to know what I'm about to tell you comes after much thinking about this situation. Even though federalism hinders the president, he is not a sheriff. He is not allowed to go into local areas and override unless, listen carefully, unless that sheriff or that governor is not fulfilling their sworn duty to enforce the law. No one is telling President Trump to run to California. However, What we are saying, if the governor there, which was caught in a huge lie moments ago, he said President Trump never called him. And today, President Trump produced a phone record, a phone log showing a 16-minute phone call with the liar of California. Ideally, that governor would have called the president and asked for the National Guard. That's how it would have worked. He would have asked for the military to help his law enforcement. But since he was not doing the job, that's when the Insurrection Act kicks in. This attack is not against the state of California. This is not a states' rights issue. This is a protest against federal immigration policies. This is an attack against the federal branch of our government. And this is what the Insurrection Act was designed for. When federal law is being obstructed, when ICE agents are not allowed to do their job, the Insurrection Act kicks in. Let me give you an example. I just heard that in Dallas, they're starting to riot. Here's the difference. That governor is going to do his job. You can believe that. That's a red state. Therefore, President Trump will never have to go to Texas. And if that governor can't handle it, he's going to call the president. That's the way it should work. But if it doesn't work that way, the Insurrection Act demands the president to restore law and order. Trump does not need Newsom's permission. He needs resolve, and the law is on his side. Moments ago, the federal court said exactly what I was planning to teach you. Our founders knew this moment would come. They wrote a solution for this moment when the National Guard becomes federal and the governor is set on the bench. So Newsom is butthurt, okay? Because he got benched in the game by Daddy Trump. But here's the real game. If ICE deports too many illegals, California and New York will lose congressional seats. Dum, da, dum, dum, dum. Making sense for you now? Okay. According to Pew Research, over 11 million illegals were counted in the 2020 census. Imagine the ones that were not counted. 11 million. Double that, triple it, 33 million. That's why the left is going berserk, not over rights. They couldn't care less about these people's rights, but over representation. Because deportation means what? Anyone? Fewer voters. Fewer voters equals what? Fewer seats. Fewer seats equals what? Lost power. Deportation equals fewer voters. Fewer voters equals fewer seats. Fewer seats equals loss of power. They fear the 2030 census. That's what this is about. Every illegal counted means inflated representation for deep blue states and a bigger pot of federal cash. And what is their long game? It's not just about stopping deportations. It's about replacing the electorate. Here's the playbook. I'm fixing to give you their playbook right now. I'm going to let you peek in and hear the quarterback on their team give the playbook. Number one, use sanctuary policies to attract more illegal immigrants. That's number one in the playbook. Number two, funnel state resources into legal defense programs. Okay, so we set up the sanctuary city. That brings us more voters. We put state money into legal representation to defend these people. We create chaos, number three, when enforcement begins. You're looking at number three on your screen right now. And then we cry racism and oppression. And then when the time is right, declare blanket amnesty for all of them. When we get the right president, which Kamala was supposed to be that president, and we replace the electorate. Boom, millions of new voters. This is not immigration reform. This is a census engineered coup. And how do they keep the border flowing? How do they keep it happening? By dismantling ICE, by fighting ICE, turning the Border Patrol into social workers, by handcuffing the federal government and unleashing their own NGOs. And who are those NGOs funded by? Bingo. The same leftist billionaires behind the riots, the propaganda, the lawfare. And Trump's crackdown on sanctuary states isn't just about deportation. It's about demographic integrity. It's about defending the people's rights to self-governance without foreign interference and political engineering. If the border is the bloodstream of a nation, then California has become a self-inflicted hemorrhage. They're a hemorrhoid on the nation. And we need to shrink the hemorrhoid. This is not compassion. This is conquest through chaos, through counting, through control. And in the face of all of that, President Trump is not overreacting. He is fighting for the country's survival. Let me make it real simple for you, Gavin Newsom. This is not about compassion. Quit lying. It's about control. You don't get to shelter criminals, obstruct federal law, and then whine when the president steps in to do his job. And to the writers waving your foreign flags, this land is not yours. To the governors defending that lawlessness, this Constitution is not optional. And to the American patriots watching all of this unfold, you're not alone. The storm is here. The time is now. And our republic will not fall because of voices like mine that are educating you to the truth. I am jerking back the curtain for you tonight to see plainly. After this segment is over, I want every one of you to sing this song with me. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I'm showing you the truth. From every corner of Toto Town to the halls of Congress, we the people are rising. Professor Toto is a watcher of we the people. We are watching not with violence, but with truth. Not with chaos, but with courage. And when I come back, I'm going to pull back the curtain on some things that's going to blow your minds.